alive in the dark, and I keep getting stronger. My limit's the sky. I do the impossible, impossible. Shine if I want to. I win every time if I want to. The world mine if I want to. Make the world mine cause I want to. I pull the sword out the border, walk a floor full of cobras. Go to war with you all, we can brawl toe to toe. I can tighten loops in my lace and make lightning lose in a race. I make fire cool.
Just off the shores of Lake Erie, we are at First Energy Stadium in a city aptly named after its founder, Moses.
Yeah, that my Brooklyn, go see Chirac, Southside, C12, 911, grrr to the reality, we still outside. Mine on the riches, hard in the trenches. You can't throw dirt on the underground, we thrive in it. Ghana boys stocks on the rise, Charlie, this flex know they ready. See, we were not a ride nobody way, we the ones who started with it. Translation, Yanni had to buy, Yanni had Yanni hits. This goes so hard, even the ops go with it, That's how you know we lit. Grrr.
EA Sports coverage of the National Football League brings us to First Energy Stadium in Cleveland, Ohio. Tonight we reach the unofficial midway point of the season with a good Monday night battle between the Cincinnati Bengals and the Cleveland Browns. Lurching closer toward the midway point of this NFL season, and we're underway on EA Sports. And they will elect to not bring this one out as our first drive will begin at the 25. They start on the ground with Nick Chubb, and nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it. What a matchup we have here in the AFC North on this All Hallows Eve, otherwise known, of course, as Halloween. Kids probably shuffling home right now from trick-or-treating, all hopped up on sugar and ready to drive their parents crazy as these two old rivals get together here on this final day of October in a game that's been highly anticipated. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. It'll go down as a 2-yard loss, and it brings up a third down.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
Throwing on third down, Watson. I'm not sure he saw the linebacker there as that's batted down and incomplete.
One thing that you're going to see from this offense is that they love the matchup with their wide receivers against this secondary. That one wasn't successful, but don't expect them to back away from attacking all game long.
A 40-yard punt, 1 yard on the return, and the Bengals take over first and 10.
I'm wondering. 11 MC.
Burrow going to fake to mix it and now look to throw. Sliding out of the pocket. Oh, he's going to take a shot right away. And his crew will take over with a football at the 35-yard line. So this is something we didn't see at all from this offense in the victory last week. That's a turnover. They didn't have any, but giving the ball away here in the opening quarter.
I love the surprise in your voice because it's exactly what you stated. Didn't see it last week, but it was a key to their win. And it'll be a key to this game as well, protecting the football. Didn't get it done there.
He's going to float this one deep right side. And this one is incomplete.
Well, they've got man coverage on the outside, and my scouting report on these DBs tells me that they love to take matters in their own hands. They want man coverage, not zone. And there was good coverage there that forced the incompletion.
They go with Chubb on second down. And some room to maneuver. And they will finally get to him down at the Bengals 28. A big pickup of 38. Well, I tell you what, when you get a running back who can move like that in the open field, that's something to take advantage of, and they certainly did there.
And first and foremost, this is all about vision. He can see the play developing right in front of him. And once he's past the line of scrimmage and got a full head of steam behind him, he's just going to keep right on going.
And if you're looking for proof of his speed, Next Gen Stats shows that he was traveling just over 21 miles an hour there. On 1st and 10, Watson. That's going to be caught. Touchdown, Browns. David Njoku, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Browns use the early turnover to get on the board first here in this one. Extra point by York is up and good. And it's now a 7-0 game. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And here comes a return from a few steps into the end zone. And this return will net positive as he gets past the 25 and up to the 27-yard line. The Bengals drive about to get going. They threw an interception the first time they had the football, wound up leading to a touchdown the other way. How do you approach drive number 2?
Going back to your game plan coming in, everyone has matchups that they like better than others. Where they think they have an advantage, dial up some of those plays. Try and go to those spots and get your offense moving.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. Now it's Burrow. He'll find his running back, Joe Mixon. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains. Throwing now, Burrow on 1st down. That one taken in by T. Higgins. And they'll get this down to the 42-yard line.
And I think this is a route we'll see more of as this game goes on, because with his speed, they want to get him the ball in space on drag routes just like this. They want him to get the ball and run after the catch. Good job there, though, holding him for a short gain.
On 2nd down, here's the option. And good work there in open space. And he's got this all the way down now to the 32. Nice pickup. 10 yards and a 1st down on the keeper. And this, I mean, it's certainly something to watch out for. He is not afraid to call his own number on plays like that. And here he takes it for good yardage.
And we know this defense prepared all week for this, but sometimes when you see it in person, it's a whole different ball game. And all that preparation, it goes right out the window.
Touchdown, Bengals. A great play there. 32 yards. And the Bengals are within an extra point of tying up this ball game. Extra point by McPherson, up and good. And we are tied at 7. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. The Cleveland offense ready to go. Sitting in first place in the division. They've got an open date on the calendar coming up next week. So, Charles, you and I were talking about this before the game. This one for them kind of has some extra importance.
It certainly does, because if they can get the win here and pad their lead a bit or at least keep pace, then they can really kick their feet up.
And now this is intercepted. My goodness. And the Bengals will take over here as they get it up to the 43-yard line. And this, Charles, definitely not what they were wanting to see. Remember, he threw 3 interceptions in a loss last week, and now he gives the ball away again here in the very first quarter.
And you have to think that this was drilled into him all week, too, by his teammates, by his coaching staff. They've told him all week long, we've got to protect the football. They probably crossed that fine line with giving him the right advice and saying it too much, and it turned out that it got into his head a little bit. I feel like I could see what he was thinking on that carry. Wanted to follow that big tackle through the hole. Ended up only getting 4 yards on the carry. I think he had designs on that one being bigger.
A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
They certainly did a nice job improvising there, extending the play, hoping someone would come open downfield, but they never did.
So after the second down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6.
11 and 2.
They're passing here, Joe Burrow. And that's going to be incomplete. The coverage too good there. The contact popped the ball free, and it's 4th down. 4th down, out comes the punter, Drew Chrisman. Calls for the fair catch, makes the fair catch just inside the 15-yard line. Just 34 yards on the punt there, no return. And the Browns will take over with a 1st and 10 deep in their own territory. The Browns drive about to get started. And for this offense, Charles, you got to think kind of crucial here to put something together on this drive, because remember last time out they threw the interception on the very first play.
And you can't afford to let this defense keep building any more momentum. They're playing awfully well, and they're awfully confident right now. To me, it's time to attack and take some of that momentum back, but make sure you're selective in doing so. Understand where you want to throw the football and make sure it's open before the ball leaves your hands.
They go up the middle with Chubb, and he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It'll go as a loss of a yard, so now they deal with 3rd and 11.
Partner, one thing I was lousy at growing up, track and field, I could never anticipate the start before a race, but how about that backer? He figured it out, jumped the count, and turned it into a really nice play for his defense.
Watson now to throw. That's out to Chubb, complete. And he will be very close to a 1st down, but I see the closed fist of the referee, and that means 4th down. And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And it'll be 4th down. Here's Corey Bojorquez now. His first punt, 45 yards. This looks good as well. It's a return of 5 following a punt of 42 yards. And the Bengals will take over here 1st and 10. The Bengals drive about to get going. The crowd may be losing just a little bit of the edge after back-to-back punts.
They want some big plays. They want to see some offense. They want to see somebody break away, whether it's through the air or on the ground. Now it'll be interesting to see where the patience is on both sides. Each head coach can you hang in there and not try and force something that could put your team in some jeopardy?
A good run, got 7 on first. Here's 2nd and 3. Off the play fake, here's Burrow. Man open, that's Jamar Chase complete. And they'll get this down to around the 47-yard line.
And, partner, they're locked in man coverage out left, and they end up running a crossing route. Rounded it a little bit more than a slant. He's just going to angle himself towards the right side of the field, and that's very difficult for a defender to shadow him across all that ground.
Mixon with a first down carry. And a strong run there as he'll take this all the way down to the 35. 12 more yards there and another first down.
A gain of 12. First down, Bengals.
These two teams all tied after one.
With the score tied 7-7.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Burrow going to get this out to Chase. And all the way in for a Cincinnati score. Jamar Chase, 35 yards. And the Bengals have taken the lead. Extra point by McPherson, up and good. And that makes the score 14-7. After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. The Cleveland offense ready to go. And they have the game here followed by the open date on their calendar next weekend. And Charles, this is a crew that you have to think really is relishing the opportunity to be on the couch for a few days.
Yeah, they certainly are. But let's face it, partner, they can't get caught looking ahead to that couch time while they're playing this one. They've got to take care of business first.
Well, he's broken off some big-time runs here in this first half.
Yeah, and let's just face it. When you go into a game, you think you've got the plays that are going to work, but when you actually get out there and they're starting to happen, your confidence rises, and he's running with terrific ability right now.
Now a throw to the end zone on first down, but it winds up incomplete. The Browns sitting at 5-2 on the year, and they've been playing well, really well. I mean, winners of 5 of their last 7, but losers last time out.
And last week they took one on the chin, but to me, this is a pretty resilient bunch. So I don't think they'll dwell too much on that loss. And they'll be looking to come out in this one and make amends right now.
There goes a deep ball, end zone. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down.
Early on, the running game's been working well, and the offensive line has been pleased by that. The thought process there, catch those safeties creeping up, trying to help against the running game. They tried to hit them over the top, unsuccessfully.
And there is Amari Cooper, his first catch. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. That gain on 3rd down, good for 28.
I don't care how many times we see it. I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. First down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete.
And their back's up against the wall a little bit, and they come through by forcing an incompletion. Now they've got to continue to ratchet up the intensity a couple of more times and get off the field before giving up any more yardage.
Once again, they'll come up on the 26-yard line, 2nd and 10. Up the middle, it's Chubb. And he'll take it down here just shy of the 15 at the 16-yard line. 67 yards for him on the ground so far tonight, as he has been terrific in this first half. So from second and long, now we go to third and very manageable.
Yeah, they love that phrase, don't they? Because as an offensive coordinator, you can keep people a little bit off balance and guessing because you don't have to throw it. You can come back with a strong run game if you want to. And if you're in 4-down territory, that really opens things up for you.
And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a first and goal.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember the last drive, they went 3 and out.
First down, Felton. And he'll get this one back to the 5-yard line, but no further than that. They'll say no gain on the play, and it'll be second and goal.
I don't know about you, Brandon, but I often think to myself, in these situations, I want a back who can create his own space, who can break tackles, and in a sense, become his own blocker. We don't have that guy in the game right now.
A line of scrimmage, once again the 5 as they get ready for second and goal. And Chubb will try the middle here. Give him right around 4 on the carry. We'll see if they want to keep pounding here on third and goal.
His path became similar to almost running a stretch play, didn't it? Trying to find a crease, anywhere to put his foot in the ground and cut back. It just never materialized.
They've been denied touchdowns in the red zone twice already. Here comes third and goal. Chubb again, but he will not get to the goal line. In fact, he won't get to the line of scrimmage as they push him back to the 2. A loss of a yard, and it brings up fourth.
Just a simple run play there on 3rd and 1, but this D was up to the challenge and stopped him, bringing up 4th down.
Now Watson will step away, and out comes Cade York to handle this 4th down field goal try for the Browns. York able to send this one through. So he's been automatic to this point of the season, and he connects on the field goal there.
And what a luxury it is to have a kicker you can depend upon, partner, because he hasn't missed all year long. Converts on that one as well. And kudos to you. You didn't jinx it.
The Browns kicking team out there now as they'll send this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback.
On 1, ready?
The Bengals drive about to get going. This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown on their last time out. Looking to repeat that in Charles's defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways because you know they're both motivated. They both game plan for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Here's Burrow setting up to throw it. Trying to get it to Chase, but it's intercepted. Picked up by Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah. And he takes this one back into the end zone. And the Browns defense has a touchdown. Well, the offense, they've really not been able to mount anything yet on that drive, and the defense made sure they couldn't mount anything. The interception and the return adding 6 to the scoreboard.
And that's no small return for a linebacker, partner. He took matters into his own hands and his legs on that pick. And once he had it, I don't think anyone on the field could have stopped him.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Bengals drive about to get going. Now remember, they were just out here a moment ago and threw the pick 6, so we'll see if they can take better care of the football this go-around.
Yeah, and sometimes, partner, I think it's almost better that you just throw the pick 6 and you come right back out on the field. You're not over on the sidelines dwelling for it for very long. You're not hearing everyone say, hey, you'll get them next time. Hey, don't worry about it. All that stuff just goes right out the window. You're right back out on the field with a chance to atone.
So following the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 25. Burrow looking to pass. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked up by Juan Thornhill. And the Browns are going to take possession of the football. A nightmare of a first half for him. That's now 3 interceptions. But Charles, with his talent, if anyone can shake this off and right the ship, it's him.
I agree, because you don't get to be one of the best quarterbacks in the league without developing some major mental toughness. So I expect him to go to the locker room at halftime, hit the reset button, and come out a new guy in half number 2.
He'll rifle this one deep right side. Njoku pulls this one in. He's got it for a Cleveland touchdown. A great effort there. 2 catches, 2 touchdowns here so far. And the Browns are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Extra point by York is up and good. And his guys will take a 10-point lead. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Bengals drive about to get going. They're sort of seeing themselves spiral out of control. Let's see if they can get things back on track.
And this is where the coach is walking that line of being calm and really being firm with his team. I had one tell me once, when we were having a tough patch, this too shall pass, this too shall pass. And if we kept having a rough patch, he said, but you've got to do something to make it pass. And that's what they have to do. They've got to get some control back, get themselves reasserted, and calm things down.
See if they can get calm and reassert themselves here. They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3.
11 empty, 11 empty. 11.
They'll stay on the ground, Mixon again. And he'll be tackled right on the chalk of the 45. It's a gain of 13, and the Bengals have a first down.
Exactly what they needed right there, because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off, because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
Here we go. Here we go. 11, 11, 11.
Burrow on play action. Going for the deep ball. That's caught inside the 20. And he's going to be taken down. Plus, there's a penalty flag in the backfield. They may get 15 more on top of this. So a critical mistake, roughing the passer. Now it's 1st and goal. Here's Burrow. A quick throw there, going to be batted away and incomplete.
Quarterbacks work all the time on manipulating the defense with their eyes and their head movement. In this case, he just stared the receiver down. That allowed for excellent coverage, able to knock that one away.
Nothing on first down, so the ball remains at the 8-yard line, 2nd and goal. Burrow giving it to Mixon on the option. And they'll get this from the 8 to the 5. Pick up of 3. Now the Browns will use the first of their 3 timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Big play coming here. It's 3rd and goal. And he'll get him a bit closer as he's down to the 2-yard line. Now a second timeout called for by the defense as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Well, let's see what they do. They're knocking on the door here in the second quarter.
And you know what you look at on your play sheet? Your 2-point conversion plays, because you've drawn up a number of them in today's football. You don't just have 1 or 2 for the game. You have more like 6 or 7. Which one do you like here? Because that's essentially what you're going for right now. That spot of the field, call one of those and go get 6.
They'll try and run with Mixon. He's fighting, but they're not going to let him in. Stopped at the 2-yard line. Mixon unable to find the goal line on 4th down. And the Browns are able to come up with a goal line stand. The Browns drive about to get started. Well, partner, you know, coaches always say that every play is designed to score a touchdown. Sometimes that's not really true, but last drive, that was the case. Oh, and he's not going to make it out of the end zone. The push too strong, and that'll be a safety.
Every team has plays in their book to try and buy some room when a safety's on the table. But a big variable is how does each team deal with the pressure of executing in those situations. In this case, they didn't, and they gave up 2 points.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. The Browns will quickly use their 3rd and final timeout as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime.
Here we go, here we go. 11 mighty. Go.
On 1st and 10, Joe Burrow. This time for Smith, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Juan Thornhill. And he takes this one back into the end zone, and the Browns defense has a touchdown.
Here we go.
So now a fresh set of downs, 1st and 10 after roughing the passer. An option handoff here to Mixon. And he's going to take this across the 50 into Browns territory. From just shy of midfield, Burrow. That's caught by the tight end, Irv Smith Jr. Now the Bengals going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 27 seconds remaining here in the second quarter.
When you execute a drag or a crossing route really well and give them a chance to let it develop a little bit, you can gain some significant yardage hitting your tight end on that one.
And at the 7-yard line, the catch is made. Now another timeout called for by the offense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime.
Gun.
Now Burrow. And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. Picked off by Greg Newsome. He's at the 50. He's at the 30. 10, 5. And he takes this one back into the end zone. And the Browns defense has a touchdown.
What you just saw there, first-round talent, second year, even more success. A pick 6 for a touchdown.
A great play. And it's tough for these guys, you've told me before, to adjust in the secondary as a first-year guy. So that sophomore season is big for them.
They really start to expand the playbook for them even more. Sometimes they dumb it down a little bit to make them comfortable year 1. By year 2, they should have all the nuances, and now they've adjusted to the speed of NFL play as well.
Showed right there. So just 8 ticks remaining here in the first half as they'll kick this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Bengals drive about to get going. And with 8 seconds on the clock, really not a lot of time to try to put anything together. After the pick 6, here's Burrow again. And the catch made, it's Tyler Boyd. And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds.
When you struggle on offense, you're looking for anything possible to get you going. Sometimes you do it like basketball teams that don't normally press. You put a press on, bring people to life, make them move a little bit quicker. Maybe that'll help them as they head towards the half.
Burrow going to give this to Mixon. And they will only muster a yard here to the 38. So we've reached halftime here on Halloween. And trust me, kids, if you had to look at Charles Davis every game, you'd think every day was Halloween. As we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. Welcome back. Halftime over. We are ready for quarter number 3 alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gordon. The Bucs set to get the football first, and they trail here as we get started in the second half. The Bengals drive about to get going. In the first half, they struggled a little bit to keep pace offensively, CD, down 2 scores here. So how do they make some changes coming out of the locker room?
Well, they've studied what they did in the first half. They've seen what the defense is throwing at them. Now they want to have a plan of attack against it. So you come out, you're not going to get all the points back on one drive, but get started on it. Start chopping into that lead, and maybe it'll inspire your defense to help out as well.
On 2nd and 11 now. Burrow. Open man is Chase, complete. And up to the 35 before they're able to knock him down. He continues to deliver a first down here. He had 4 catches in the first half, and this one number 5.
11.
And they go play action now. Burrow. He completes it to Boyd. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. A well-executed 22-yard gain.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
First down. Here's Burrow. He gets this in the hands of Mixon. And they're going to move it down inside the 25.
That's a pretty play there coming out of the backfield. But as that back, you've got to be conscious of making sure you're securing the football. When you get out in open field, sometimes you get a little loose with it as you're trying to get up the head of steam. Make sure you keep it close to your body because those defenders are trying to punch it free. He does a nice job there protecting the ball and picking up the first down.
And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. He was held without a catch in the first half, but he's got one here, and he also picks up a first down.
Just picking up yardage in bunches here these last few plays. They have moved right down the field, and just like that, they're going to be set up with a 1st and goal.
1st and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. They'll give it to Mixon. And he's able to get this down to the 5-yard line before he's out of bounds. It'll be a 3-yard pickup, and it brings up 2nd and goal.
They did a really nice job there defensively. They strung the play out, didn't give him a cutback lane. On each play, you have guys what I call our BCR players. Guys are responsible for the bootleg, for the cutback, and for the reverse. They played that one perfectly.
And rode him right out of bounds. Another try for Mixon. And he'll get this one back to the 5-yard line, but no further than that. Calling no gain that time, and now it's 3rd and goal.
Sometimes I get caught in hyperbole, but I think they desperately need to punch this one in. They're running out of time.
Yeah, 2-score game, second half, you're down here. This is the time to put it in the end zone.
Yeah, not going to get much better than this for an opportunity.
3rd and goal, Burrow. Flush to his right. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
I'm sure it was a tough halftime trying to figure out some strategy to get things going, trailing by a lot when they went into the locker room. He's just trying every avenue to spark his team here to begin the 3rd quarter. Not a lot going on that play, though.
So if you factor the safety, this is going to be a 5-point swing all told.
And if you're winning, I think you say, fine by me, we'll take it. But when you're losing, I think you have to say, we let a good opportunity get away.
And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. The Cleveland offense ready to go. They'll fake the handoff. Now Watson. And he just gets rid of it. Throws it away. A wise move there. Looked like nobody open. Now 2nd down. Throwing the football, he's not as sharp as he was last week when he was over 70%. Right now, he's under 50%.
Well, that comes from extra game film, extra time. You know those guys watched him all week, saw how precise he was, and constructed a defense to try and chip away at that, and thus far they've been successful.
On 2nd down now, Felton. And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on that one as it brings up a 3rd and 10. This defense could use a few more plays like that right now.
It certainly could, but think about it from an offense's perspective right now. They've got a lead, but they don't want to throttle down too much and stall themselves. Still want to move at a nice pace.
Throwing on 3rd down, Watson. And he will not be able to hang on through the contact. It's incomplete. The coverage strong, and now it's 4th down. The Browns send out their punter now as he'll come on to kick this one away. Now Brown. And he's got this almost to the 40 before going out. A good head-down running on the return gets about 15 yards. And they will take over 1st and 10. The Bengals drive about to get going. Their drive last time, it stalled out. They were forced to take the short field goal.
And the key phrase, you nailed it. Forced to, because you know coaches look at these short field goals as a last resort, right? To them, that's not how drives are supposed to end. You're supposed to put 6 on the board. That's a consolation prize. Like going to the county fair, you don't get the big stuffed animal on that one, do you?
No, you don't go top shelf. That's bottom shelf material.
11.
Burrow going to fake to mix it and now look to throw. He'll find his running back, Joe Mixon. And he's going to be taken down right at the 40-yard line.
Well, I like the play design there. They occupied the defense downfield, everyone trying to account for someone. But unfortunately, they didn't account for the running back slipping out of the backfield. And he was absolutely unnoticed and wound up getting big yards on that play.
Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on 1st down.
11.
Inside handoff to Mixon. And he gets this to the 35. Good for a gain of 5.
That's a really nice, tough run inside, and they gained 5 yards on it. And to be frank about it, most offenses don't expect to get 5 yards on a play call like that. So when they do, they go back to their huddle with a little pep in their steps. They're starting to think that they're starting to dominate the line of scrimmage.
11. Go.
Back to Mixon on second down. And he'll work it inside the 30 to the 29-yard line. 81 yards for him on the ground now. He has been a tough man to bring down all night.
The question for Mixon was after an injury-riddled 2020, will he be back to his old self in 2021? And not only was he back, he was even better. He set career highs across the board, finished top 4 league-wide in yardage and touchdowns.
Burrow's throw here into the hands of Jones. And he'll be taken down at about the 22-yard line.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
From the 22, Burrow. And now here's another interception. Picked up by Juan Thornhill. He's at the 40. Past the 20. And he takes this one back into the end zone. And the Browns defense has a touchdown. And Charles, for this offense, those interception woes they kind of had in the first half have now followed them into the second half. And for this defense, they take advantage, turn that into a pick six.
And that defense is in a spot now where they're thinking about ways to close this game out. As confidently as they've been playing, I expect them to do exactly that.
So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. And this will probably be the last play of the quarter. Here's Joe Mixon as they start on the ground. And he'll be brought down at what's going to turn out to be the final play of this third quarter. 1 quarter remains here as we wrap up the week on a Monday night. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. Now it's Burrow. And my goodness, another interception. Picked up by Grant Delpit. And the Browns will have solid field position here as they take over at the 45-yard line. Well, all I can do up here is just shake my head. I mean, 6 interceptions. I cannot imagine what he's thinking between the ears right now.
Well, just think of how it is for his teammates, because after the first few, you know they're going over to him, hey, we'll get him next time. Now they're probably a little bit frustrated. And if you're a receiver, you're thinking to yourself, any ball that's in the air, you become receiver and defensive back. You've got to go compete for the ball so that you don't get another one picked off.
Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the fourth quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it, and the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're just trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes so they can't run the football.
And he'll be taken down just shy of midfield after a gain of about 4.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
We know it's not an easy job to go out and catch passes when people are trying to tackle you and knock the ball away. But the bottom line is, that's a pass he's got to have and a pass he should have caught.
And Bojorquez on to punt as he gets it away. That'll go as a punt of 32 yards. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over.
One, ready?
The Bengals drive about to get going. We certainly had a sense coming in here that these guys were in for a tough one on the road. That has been how this ball game has played out. They trail big as we continue on now here in this fourth quarter. Myles Garrett in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year.
You can almost see all the defenders rubbing their hands together with glee because we all know they relish the chance to bring down a quarterback of his caliber. Anyone who brings him down has plenty to talk about. Not just a sack, but a big win built off the efforts of this defense.
To try again after the sack. Burrow, he will find his man Chase complete. And he'll be corralled well upfield right around the 40-yard line. Now Burrow on first down. And he'll spot Higgins open left side. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. Hard to believe his first catch of the game defensively. They bottled him up. That's why they're well on their way to victory.
Put your best cover guy on him and then change the coverages behind him throughout the game. Brackets, double, zone, man, you name it. Make sure he gets a lot of angles.
And this throw incomplete. Well, the defender all over him that time, but it's going to lead to 3rd down. Well, we've talked about it, CD, but it bears repeating. They are struggling to throw the football. All the interceptions and more incompletions. It just doesn't look like things are in sync out there.
I would agree with that, and it's not a good day when you feel like an incomplete pass is almost a win for you because it wasn't intercepted. And I think the receivers now, when they're running their routes, they want to catch the ball, but they also want to make sure that the defenders don't take it away. But give the defensive guys a little bit of credit. They didn't let the deep ball beat them on that play, did they?
No, the drag, that could be your safety valve. We saw it right there.
Yeah, and it picked up a first down for them, too.
And Burrow going to be hit and taken down. They got him. Myles Garrett, his 2nd sack of the night.
We all know he's one of the better quarterbacks in the league, but definitely not today. His team trailing by multiple touchdowns and a late sack. Just a parting gift from the defense for him to take back to the locker room with him.
Got a man open. It's Chase. And he'll be brought down inside the 40-yard line. You cannot write these guys off just yet, not with a quarterback like that under center.
You mean it actually crossed your mind with him running the team that you could actually maybe write this game off?
Not yet.
Not a chance. Not with him. We've seen it too many times.
And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
That's coverage you'd expect to see in a tie game late. Not in a lopsided game like this. They are not letting up.
Here we go. It's Burrow on 4th down. He's going to let it go again. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. The Bengals try it, but it doesn't work out. And this Browns defense stands tall. Well, that's another mistake there on the drop pass on 4th, and we've seen them do things like this all game.
It's not hard to figure out why they're down by that deficit. They haven't made plays that are going to keep them in the game or win the game all game long. That's another example right there. It all boils down at the end of it to execution. Either you make the play or you don't.
And he'll manage to pick up about 4. It's 2nd down.
I have to chuckle to myself a little bit, Brandon, because right now I could be in that huddle with that offensive line. I know exactly what they're saying. If you call a pass play here, we're going to call a timeout. Run the football. We got control of this thing. Get him behind us and let's go.
Their time to shine. They'll try and wind down some clock with Chubb. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. Now they're staring at a 3rd and 8. That last play backwards a yard.
Now that's a nice play. Got me fired up, partner. But can they do it back-to-back plays? All the training that you go through as a defense for these situations, when you have to get the ball back, everything you go through, holding up the runner, raking up the football, getting to the passer, knocking it out of his hands, whatever way, they have to get the ball back.
Now can they stand tall again for a huge 4th quarter stop? No doubt those are the types of carries they're looking for here, Charles. The lead in the 4th quarter. This is when coaches that have a reliable running game, they breathe a little easier on the sideline.
Yeah, they love the idea that they can take the air out of the football at this point of the game. That means they're really counting on that offensive line, counting on the runners, taking care of the football. because you're going to tell your quarterback, hey, no time to be a hero. We're not going to throw it here. Just eat up that clock. And if you have the ball, they can't score.
And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
That's a good play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball. Held him to a gain of 2. And that changes the playbook a little bit now for the guy calling plays. 2nd and 8. Now he's got to probably think about going to the air instead of maybe staying with the ground game.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. So Cleveland able to come away with the victory here. And I tell you what, I can't remember a defensive performance as good as this one. They seemingly forced turnover after turnover after turnover every time you turned around.
Yeah, you can just keep going with it, can't you? After turnover. As this game unfolded, they were doing all the dictating, right? They told the offense exactly how it was going to go down today. So you saw them deflate with every series, didn't you? Every time they ran onto the field, it was slower and slower.